My favourite way of fishing this system revolves around the method mix, something I'm a real great fan of, and I'll show you or give you my reasonings in a minute why. But let's just go back to the basis of the system. Obviously we've discussed at length the attributes of our friendly stone here, but the rig in itself is a nice little effective fellow, and the reasons why, it's very short hook link, again, which we've explained the reasoning why. But what I find really important, and this I really do believe in this, is that the sharper the hook, the better for this style of fishing. I mean, these are like little sticky hooks. This just tends to stick, and you know that when it goes in the fish's mouth, that's exactly what it's going to do in there. And though it might not necessarily get the best hook hold immediately, it's going to just stick against something, and that's what we want to at least start off with. So effective hook, sharp, nice gauge that's going to hold it firmly in place. And another thing, this particular hook just doesn't blunt. If you do use a style of hook that is prone to blunting, obviously always give it a file, because it's so important to have just that little bit sticking in the flesh of the fish. But going back to a method, the reasons why I fish it, and I really do love it, and the reasons why we catch a lot of fish on this system, basically you're packing around a stone which will really hold the method, a load of fish feeding stimulants, fish feeding inducers, really good pile of bait is going to go out, and your hook bait will be sitting right next to it. And as far as I'm concerned, the fish will be coming onto this large lump of breaking down method mix, and will be almost obliged to pick up that hook bait. But the other real advantage you get from this, and especially when you're first starting out in the sport, is you tend to get in a few tangles, especially with your rig, and it will sit out on the bottom for ages, all tangled up, chance to catch the fish pretty zero. With this, you've cast out, you just can't, well if you can, you're someone special to manage to actually tangle that anywhere. That's just going to go out and you're going to get a really nice presentation. The metal will break down, the fish will come in, and hopefully that's what will happen now. And we'll give this a good old heave-ho, because it'd be incredible how far you can actually chuck the method. And I say it really binds to those stones. And then it is, to be quite honest, in the lap of the gods.
For many of you watching this programme, the major question that will instantly spring to mind, apart from how well Clive's breakfast is cooking, is how will the stones behave when you're casting? Well, take a look for yourself, and any doubts you might have had will most definitely be proved unfounded. Watching any of our anglers casting effortlessly while thoroughly enjoying this 48-hour session will demonstrate just how user-friendly this product is. On this water, everyone is hoping for the chance to land some of the magnificent carp for which Pallington is renowned. Looking at the stones, it can be difficult at first to accept that a weight of a lesser density than traditional lead can carry sufficiently and give you the distance that you require and hold bottom. Well, you have the proof before your very eyes. None of these anglers are in any way dissatisfied with the casting distances they're getting from the stones, and you can be assured if there were any weak areas, they would be letting us know. To really get the most out of the Stonze system, you do need to perhaps change the way you select your weights. Don't get too bogged down with needing to have a 1 ounce lead for this situation and a 4 ounce lead for that. There's something delightfully tactile about the stones. You'll want to pick them up and get a feel for the ones you're going to use. So trust to instinct and weigh up your options as you go along. There's much greater flexibility for any type of casting, and once you've got used to the new system, we know you'll find it extremely versatile. So we've looked at general casting with the Stonze system, and certainly our anglers testing it out here are very happy with things. But what happens when you do need to fish at longer range with maximum casting distance? For any doubters, wondering whether you can cast as far with a stone as with a traditional lead, this next part of the programme is for you. Here we've set up test conditions on dry land to see whether the proof is in the pudding, or indeed in the method mix. A few taxing mathematical calculations have allowed us to place 2 white plastic buckets at 50 and 100 yards. Demon caster Mark Monks has selected his specimen stones to sling, and he'll use a variety of rigs to check performance. First up, Boolean stones, resulting in a very satisfactory 105-yard cast. Next, the method mix, and as you would expect, this has come up a touch shorter at 85 yards. As a point of interest, if he'd made the last 15 yards, he would only have been 2 feet to the left of the 100-yard marker bucket. He obviously has a great sense of aim, but then again, that's another story. Last but not least, Mark casts a PV